let's talk about an upcoming production of Into the Woods that's going to be at Horace High School. We've got Reese and Jaden in here. Welcome to KFGO.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. See, look, now you can use your stage voices when you're
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Into the Woods. So I asked you when you first came in what your roles are. Reese, you're playing the baker's wife, and Jaden, you're playing the baker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people might think, well, they don't even have real names. These must not be big parts. But you are actually the leads. You're the main plot of this story. So if someone's never heard of Into the Woods before as a show, let's kind of give them the hits of it.
So pretty much what it is, it's pretty much like a bunch of like fairy tale characters, and it's following like the storyline of like how they're going to get their wishes. Like Cinderella wants to go to the ball and meet a prince, and little Jack has to go like and sell his cow for the magic beans, and all those different fairy tales. And it's pretty much a bunch of people going to get their wishes. And then in Act 2, it's pretty much what happens after Happily Ever After, and shows that that how it ends. That it's sort of, your wish isn't exactly what you think it's going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of curses. Boy, oh boy, this play has just got curses galore all over it. Jaden, you get into the show. Had you ever heard or seen Into the Woods before?
Yes, I saw the movie, and before we even started it, I was looking into it and listening to the music, and just everything about it just screams fairy tale, screams familiarity, but with a twist.
Now, you said you saw the movie. You're stepping into James Corden's shoes. That's a pretty big, it's a big ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, James Corden, he did great. I enjoyed his performance, but I think that putting it on in our own level is also a nice spin on it, and it's given me a refreshing viewpoint.
Here's a hot take. I didn't care for the movie. I think that this show is so much better live and on stage that the movie just didn't capture some of those feelings and kind of the hecticness of going into the wood and all of these things. Even when you've got James Corden and Meryl Streep was in it, I mean, that thing was packed with stardom. But I think seeing it live is always going to be better with this show in particular.
Yeah.
I agree, like very much so.
You just can't catch the overlapping parts and how everything is just a giant weave of things that just comes together in the end. I definitely agree. I don't think the movies could ever even try to hold a torch to capturing all the elements of the musical.
Now, so your two characters are a husband and wife, and you want to have a baby, and that's kind of where the beginning of this story starts. And you think that there's going to be a happily ever after with everything. And like you said, Act 2 shows that there are consequences for your actions. I think that when people go see this, the familiarity with those, with Jack and the Beanstalk, Little Red Riding Hood, all of these, famous fairy tales, it kind of lulls you into like, oh, I know what's going to happen. And then you really get engaged in that second act. It's also not an easy show to sing. So have you been prepping for a long time? Are you only drinking, honey and hot water right now?
So the prep for it we did about like a month and a half of just straight vocal rehearsal. And it was a lot of like after practice, like you got to like grind on like your notes. Like we have like an app that we have to like follow along with. And the music is like Sondheim is very like he doesn't give a lot of harmonies in the show, but when he does, they're difficult. So it's really fun trying to learn those, but it's a long show, so it's a lot of music to learn, especially with the difficulty of it.
And it's one of those shows too where each character seems to get their own personal song, whether it's a ballad or just something sweet and simple. There is a lot that happens. Now, this is also a show that I think, multiple ages can enjoy, but it's not a show that's meant for kids necessarily. Like this isn't going to see Shrek Jr. No shade on Shrek Jr. at all, but this is something that is perfect for a date night, and mom and dad and grandma and grandpa will also get something really rich out of this show.
For sure.
Now, I gotta ask this. Costuming is always interesting with Into the Woods. How is your describe the costumes a little bit?
Oh, I love costumes. So we rent our costumes from Pierre's, which is a thing out in Philadelphia. And like my costumes personally, it's like a bunch of like fun little dresses, like very much so like early 1800s, like the billowy sleeves, the long skirts with like the patterns, the aprons, and the hair is so fun. We have these two ladies, Tina and Erica, and they are hairstylists during the day, but then they come over at night and they do our hair, and we have these fun wigs. It's really exciting. I love all the costumes.
Oh, that's fantastic. How about for you, Jaden?
My costumes are pretty simple. I only have two, and it's basically just early 1800s. I got knee-high baggy pants.
Some pantaloons.
Yeah, some pantaloons.
And are you wearing an apron the whole time
Of
too?
course.
Yeah, right, of course, because you're the baker.
Mhm.
If people want tickets now, you have 2 weekends, which is
Yep.
really great
Mhm.
because back in my day you had one weekend, and if it snowed on Thursday, you weren't going to do the Thursday show. So this goes on this weekend, the 19th and 20th at 7:30. The 21st on Sunday, you've got a matinee, and then the same thing next weekend as well too. If people want tickets, easiest way is to go to the Horace High School website activities page, and you can find tickets on there.
So there's like a little like the 3-bar button, and if you click that, it opens up to like the box. Like there's like a bunch of different options, and you scroll down the box office and click on Into the Woods, and then you have it.
Now, people aren't going to, this isn't like Willie Nelson where they're going to go on and I'm going to show up and they're going to be like, it's $200 for your ticket into the woods right now, right?
No.
I don't know. You might, but that second weekend, if we can get enough buzz going, it might be the hottest ticket in town.
Just maybe.
And hey, a quick shout out to Carrie Horst, who directed this show, right? Like, I mean, I've known him for a long time. That's going to date me and him. And fantastic work. So I can't wait to go out there and see this. Into the Woods at Horace High School. Reese, Jaden, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Okay. Rest those voices.